back for episode 3. It's like this show was like me when I was 14. Trying to figure out what the hell we are, man. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not talking about pronouns. I'm talking about
What are your
my identity. Like,
What are your pronouns?
my pronouns?
Are they he, they?
I swear to God, if somebody ever asks me that, I'm just gonna like. It takes so much not to assault them. I'll be
Why though? What if it's,
the dumbest thing ever.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 3. I am a little surprised we made it this far.
Yeah, you know, it was a lot of
I
questions.
would get canceled by now for sure.
A lot of wondering. You know, we're gonna keep doing this thing.
Yeah,
Well, we are. Here we are.
here we are. Yeah.
So, welcome to the show. If this is your first time checking us out, we're more of a looser podcast. So we're just kind of talk about trending topics, headline news, give you our opinion, and try to make light heart of it. We're here live in Las Vegas, Nevada as well. So my name's Robin. I also go by Big Rob, and then co-host here, David.
Doesn't your didn't you one time say that Las Vegas was the sweaty armpit of America?
It is a sweaty armpit of America. You like that?
I
huh?
like that.
I said that like 3 years ago. It just got
Yeah.
stuck with you, huh?
Oh, yeah, because I liked it.
Ah, yeah.
But for every one thing I do like, I can come up with 20 things I don't. So it'll be interesting.
All right, awesome. And then we got Destroyer up in the chat. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. So a lot to unpack today. You know, I wanted to start it off with some, you know, because we're obviously in social media, you know, we're on YouTube, so we're not going to talk any crap about YouTube, but there is plenty of censorship, and, you know, you got to stay within the guardrails, and, you know, politicians are talking about, like, you know, shutting people down, locking people up for their words. We saw what happened in
California.
England. In England.
So what happened in California?
No, what happened in
Yesterday? Gavin Newsom signed into law.
California? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here it got a little interesting. So
I'm sorry, real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
But if we're gonna have this badass AI and we can't use it to make memes, then why the hell do we even have it?
yeah, Gavin, can you pull that up? Find that article on Gavin Newsom, and he was talking about imprisoning people for memes, right? Like, kind of where have we gone lately? All right, so take a look at this. You got Elon Musk basically saying troubling, but anyways, the video here of Hillary Clinton. So here, just take a listen to this.
And boosting Trump back in 2016. But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrence because then boosting Trump back in
boosting Trump can get you criminally charged. And so quite interesting. And then
You know what this reminds me of?
What's up?
Do you remember when during the pandemic when they were trying to shove the vaccine down people's throats?
Yeah.
And people were kind of like, it's a little weird.
That's where it started.
And this is what it's coming down to.
They started with Joe Rogan. Remember, Joe Rogan said he was taking
horse paste.
Yeah, the
Ivermectin.
Yeah. And then they were trying to cancel him. All social media was getting up,
But my point is though is I think people in this country have come to realize that if they're pushing something so hard, whether it's pushing a vaccine on people or pushing against a certain political person, then the people are like, okay, something is off. I should probably be on that side, not the side they're pushing, but the other side. And I think that's really what's happening.
And then not all, you know, it's not just one outspoken critic here, you know, Hillary Clinton, but it's kind of almost like a movement. You said Gavin Newsom. I know you're going to pull that up here in a second, but you know, take a look. You have Tim Walz.
Hold on, real quick before you play. What is he getting ready to put in or put out of his mouth? Words or a big hamburger? I'm curious.
So, take a look here.
Okay, hold on.
What?
Hold on. Can we agree this dude's a little weird?
Oh, I'm going to expand on that in a second.
Okay,
all right. It's not just him either. So
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy. I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on
no guarantee. So basically,
pretty sure there is a guarantee.
So hate speech, which they deem as hate speech, right? So, you know, I would say like, hey, look, man, you know what? sure, I guess if you're over here, you know what? Just let people speak their mind. I would say outside of child pornography, I think everything should be game, right? And let the public decide what they want to consume or what they want to deem factual or whatever it is. I mean, you know, to sit here and say, hey, look, this is true. This piece of information is true per us, and this piece of information not so true. We'll put you in prison if you talk about it.
Well, here's the problem, right? It used to be, right, people like Elon Musk who bought Twitter, they went to this place of, okay, well, where do we draw the line? We can't really draw a line because then we become like them. So what do? If it's criminal and against the law, like saying I'm going to blank someone, you know, take someone out, then that's criminal. You can be charged for it so we can censor it. The problem, though, is you have people like Gavin Newsom and Tim Walz and the others who are now writing law and signing in that hate speech or misinformation can be criminal. So then they're going to take that law and take it to the companies like X with Elon Musk and say, well, it's criminally offensive now, right? You can get charged criminally for this. You should not allow it on your platform.
You know what? We're moving to a very interesting time, and so I implore you who are watching just to kind of push back on this whole movement narrative shift that we've had, where hey, look, government's going to decide what you should and shouldn't hear, and if you say what they deem you shouldn't hear, then we're gonna lock you up or
have you read the book 1984 by George Orwell?
No,
you need to read that book. It's almost to a T of what he explained in the book years ago to what is happening now. And, we mentioned Gavin Newsom here is a blank screen. But either way, what I wanted to show you was a post here from Charlie Kirk. And it's interesting, the perspective he puts it in. And the post reads, so California is really going with it's legal if you steal $1,000 worth of merchandise, but a crime if you make a meme approach. There he is.
Yeah, interesting. And then on a more interesting note, here I got something here. So we got nice little meme here. So
did you vote? Are you gonna vote? Will you ask people that you know to vote, please? And will you ask them to vote for me?
$1,000 fine for me, sir. $1,000 fine. I like this meme. Are you going to throw me in jail? This is a very good meme. I want to know, Gavin Newsom, did I break the law? Did I break the law? I want to know. Did I break the law?
Sir, put your hand.
Did I break the law? If we were in California, would I be arrested for this meme? Because you know what? I think it's quite hilarious. Let's play one more time.
Did you vote? Are you going to vote? Will you ask people that you know to vote, please? And will you ask them to vote for me?
Okay,
you know what? The world needs memes. The world is a better place with memes. Why are you trying to get rid of my memes?
I got a more important question here. Out of, let's say, 10 public appearances, whether it's a rally, an interview, out of those 10, how many of those has she had at least 2 drinks?
Yeah, it's pretty apparent. I found some really good videos of her drinking, and then so on to back to Tim Walz, and so being a little weird. Have you seen his wife?
Yeah,
dude, this.
Yeah, she's.
Bye bye, Donald Trump. We are turning the page.
That's right.
52 days and we are turning the page. 52 days and it is bye-bye, Donald Trump.
What is wrong with her eyes? It's like, look at that is some.
There's rewind to the very beginning. Rewind to the very beginning.
Bye-bye, Donald
Okay,
Trump.
that look right there, I've seen that look before. And something good usually comes after that look when they go like this and they're looking down and
there's nothing good. That look, I'm telling you, that look is like psycho ex-girlfriend, like ready to slash her tire or something.
So then how? Okay, you see that. How could you vote for that? How could you vote that?
Here's the thing: I don't think a lot of people are awake to his wife, right? But
it's not just the wife; it's all three of them.
They're all strange, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how could anyone possibly sit there and say, "Yeah, I feel confident"?
I don't like to think like, how could you possibly?
You don't like
vote?
to think, huh?
No. I don't like to think how could you possibly vote, because at the same time, the other side, people that are Democrats, they look at us and like, how could you possibly vote for Trump? And they'll find some clip. And so, have
you ever seen a clip of Donald Trump or J.D. Vance acting like the way these guys act? Be honest. Be honest.
I don't know, man. I've seen plenty of videos of
like
Trump.
What?
When he's like doing this weird duck face, he's looking to the left or right. He's like, I'm just saying he's had some facial expressions as well. So I'm not going to sit here and say that
comparing that
okay. That's literally what we're making fun of here was the facial.
I was making fun of her,
and this is
ain't.
I'm just saying that, like,
I don't know, man. I just it's just strange. I think it comes down to when you hate something more than you love the other, right? It's like you despise something so much, you're willing to just go out of character and do things you would never do, say things you would never say, and vote for people you would never vote for. I think that's what's happening.
All right, I've held it back for long enough. I got to talk about
It's literally been
I got to talk
5
about
minutes.
I got to talk about Diddy.
Oh God.
I wanted to open up the show, but I you know what? I wanted to ease us in. I wanted to lube us in, because I didn't want to force it. And so, speaking of lube, here we go. This is the Department of Justice, and
the Department of Justice,
the U.S. District Attorney's Office of Southern New York, the same office that indicted and imprisoned Jeff Epstein. I forget the guy's name.
This guy on the screen?
Yeah. Do you remember his name?
No.
Anyways, so
he kind of looks like Tess.
As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years.
Now, he lists off a bunch of like racketeering, sexual trafficking, and then arson. A little off to me, huh?
No,
I think he was throwing like bonfires after he was like kidnapping people.
No, he.
Do you know the answer, or you're just fabricating?
No. So he had also 3 assault weapons, 3 AR-15s with the serial numbers shaved off.
Okay,
and this is obviously in the state of New York. And
still doesn't explain the arson.
Well, he had threatened and harmed and beat or assaulted some of his sex workers and also the ladies, basically the prostitutes that he brought in.
Still not hearing
dancers.
about the arson.
And that's a charge in there. And so I don't know. I don't know the details of the charge. They didn't go into those details, but he does give details on just what.
And in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines.
You know what's interesting? Did you catch what he just said there?
Across state lines?
No, male sex workers.
Yeah.
So not female sex workers, but male.
Maybe he swings both ways.
And I'm going to get on that in a second.
You are, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs. And he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media.
So,
Specifically,
pause it here.
This guy's sick.
I'll say this. You know, there's been multiple attacks against high-profile individuals with allegations, and you know, so I like to, as damning as evidence is, I like to digest the news and try to find as many sources.
Bro,
as I
there
can.
were people talking about
I'm not
this
saying.
for
I'm not
years.
saying in the slightest that I think this dude is being.
Do you have to fact check the prosecutor?
But here's the thing: when how many times, you know, you look at Andrew Tate, you know, it was all this damning evidence right off the rip.
They caught the dude with 1,000 bottles of baby oil in his house.
I know.
Who the hell needs 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
Okay, well, let me ask you something. Do you believe everything the mainstream media just starts to just trumpet out there, right?
No.
I mean, we saw what happened with COVID. It was like, hey, everybody agreed, every news outlet, and I'm not saying that like, hey guys, like this is all misinformation. I'm just saying that like I've come because of what we've seen time and time again from mainstream media, what we've seen from prosecutors, what we've seen from the justice system is that sometimes they got an agenda, and sometimes they twist the facts, and sometimes they frame and put people behind bars that really they just kind of set people up. And so all I'm saying is that at this point, no matter how damning the evidence is,
how much of that
I take it. No, I'm just saying for now at this point, because of how many times we've been misled by media, I have to take a step back and I have to say like, okay. What am I looking at here? How deep does this go?
You don't want to look at what's deep in there.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing: if we just blindly just look at every topic,
there is zero chance that you don't believe this is true, right? I mean, there's literally leaked audio, video. There's people. Cat Williams and Kevin Hart have been talking about this for years.
I know they have.
And so, could you argue that the timing?
I'm just saying that. I now have a process when news breaks and someone's accused of sexual misconduct. I now have a process internally of not rushing.
The dude was charged with trafficking.
I get that, and so was Andrew Tate, and so was other individuals, and so I'm just saying that, like, for me to blindly say that. Okay, do you think that? Okay, here's a conversation. Epstein, right? We all agreed, dude was
a sick human being.
He's a sick human being, right? But don't you agree that the Justice Department was covering things up, hiding individuals, and that within that truth that came out, not all the truth came out, and certain things got pushed to the top.
Obviously, they haven't.
That's what I'm saying.
Released the.
That's exactly where I'm at. That's 100% what I mean is that this breaks, and instead of just simply sitting back and sipping on a drink and just watching and being like, wow, that's crazy. Everything they're telling me is 100% true. Like, all I'm saying is that I like to. At this point, because I've been misled and lied to so many times by media, I want to objectively look at something. And I want to come to my own personal conclusion.
But even if 1% of what they're saying is true, does the rest matter?
Yes.
Like what?
Okay. What about like 9/11? What if 9/11? If I'm not saying that the whole thing's a conspiracy, but I adamantly believe planes hit the building's collapsed. But is there more to the story? Is there governments that were behind it? Or was it just simply a group of Al-Qaeda individuals over in Pakistan?
So now you're turning into a detective.
You have to be. You have to be.
But what?
Like if you just take all the information.
But what is that going to do for you?
It's going to empower you not to be indoctrinated by the government. That's why we.
But this has no effect on you.
Okay,
personally.
but let me. It does.
How? How does this affect you
Because
personally?
you either going to have your own voice or you're going to listen to what the media says and you're just going to run with it.
But what they're saying has no impact on you. When we talk about 9/11 and then afterwards we saw the Patriot Act, that impacted you. So sure, you want to dig in deep to look. When they talk about COVID and they push mainstream, that impacts you. Sure.
What about all the individuals that went to Diddy's parties? What about the music executives that have not been mentioned? What about all of the celebrities that
they
attended?
should come forward.
What about what if it's high-ranking political people? Maybe they're pushing out Diddy Combs to take the fall in the same way they did with Epstein, and they brush everything else under the rug. All I'm saying, what I'm saying here is not, I'm not by any means saying that Diddy Combs is some innocent individual that's getting wrongfully charged here. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that right now, this has the mainstream headlines. They're targeting a figure, and I've seen this playbook before, and sometimes it's this misinformation, and all of a sudden, look over here, but don't look over here. And so because of the media's track record and being lied to repeatedly, anytime a major story breaks like this, I want to figure out what the hell is actually happening? What is true? And
I don't got time for that shit, man.
So you just,
if it affects me personally, okay. If it doesn't, I don't have time. I don't have time to find out what politicians.
So you just want to turn on the TV, have the TV tell you?
No, I could care less
do the
about
research.
this. I could care less. Why would I research something that affects me zero? Give me one way this could affect me in my personal life. Zero. I don't put any time to it. Can we talk about how many bottles of baby lube this dude had? Okay, just real quick.
What?
I truly believe, I am firm in my belief that people like him and others who have a crap load of money just, one, run out of things to spend money on, so they do weird shit like this, and two, they have this, right? And
100%.
so how much more of this is
okay, so just to finish our narrative where we were here. All I'm saying is that one of the things is there's two sources of media, right? There's your broadcast television. There is these press conferences by the Department of Justice, which we know is heavily influenced by politicians. And then you have private media, social media, and you have brands like ourselves, like Bold Broadcasting. And I want to make this platform an open discussion for somebody to come in and not get repeated information that we get on mainstream media. And so if we get a little cuckoo here and we got a little bit of Alex Jones or a little bit of Joe Rogan or whatever it is, the idea of this show here is to question what we're seeing and talk about it and kind of pick it apart and give you our opinions. And so if we're not here just to just play what the hell's on Fox News and what's on CNN. I want to see what is the headlines and try to give you some kind of feed for what's trending or what's popping off or the news and try to see what is BS and what is real here. And so I don't know, man. And so all I'm telling you is that we're going to cover this more. And when more truth comes out, or speculation or conspiracy theories, as these come out, we'll think about it. We'll talk about it. Here's a interesting side note here. So, you got a video. So this was back in 2018, and I don't know if you remember this. So back in 2018,
that's Suge Knight?
No. So back in 2018, some individual here, I don't know this guy's name, but he broke into one of Trump's hotels with a firearm, pulled down the American flag he had there in the lobby, and then proceeded to have a gunfight with police officers, shooting at him, running. He got shot in the leg. He did not die, though. But he's getting interviewed. This is in 2018. And
this is after he did it?
Yeah, so this is after he shot up the Trump hotel. And so they're interviewing the guy, and during the beginning of the interview, they're trying to get a backstory, trying to figure out who he is. And listen to what this guy opens up with.
Combs, Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call yourself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes, and I came back and I sued him for the herpes and won. But Diddy and Ross, which they're good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled, they're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
I seen the liquid cocaine, I've drank it myself. Having sex with Diddy and Cassie. Okay? It's not good. He drinks it all the time. Alright? He calls it Gigi. That's liquid cocaine.
All right.
I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. Okay, but he's scared that I was exposed.
I don't want to talk about Diddy right now. I want to talk about you. Help me understand.
Oh, I wish you'd have pulled on that thread longer, man. I wish you'd have pulled on that thread longer. Like, this is 2018. This man here who was a sex slave, right? And so they brought in prostitutes to sleep with the male sex slaves, which is interesting in its own, right? So he has male sex slaves, and then he buses in prostitutes across state to have sex with his male sex slave. Like, the story is fucking weird, bro. And that's what I'm saying is that I want to know more. And so out of sheer curiosity, I know for you it makes no difference, but obviously I grew up listening to hip hop, P. Diddy, also Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, like all of these guys implemented here in 2008 interview.
Does it change?
First of all, they're all gay too, which is
But does it change?
That's a different story, man. You think Rick Ross is gay?
Yeah, but does
you think he is?
But does it change? Their product if they're gay? Does it make their songs any worse?
Yes, it does.
So
you're supposed to be a gangster rapper. You're out here boo loving and cuddling up with another dude, having male sex slaves, and then bringing in prostitutes, and then beating your meat in the corner. It's fucking weird, man. It's goddamn weird. And so is this not worth talking about?
I just don't know why they would bring in male sex workers and then bring in prostitutes to have sex with them.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. And you mentioned this earlier. People with too much money, too much power, and they start getting into this weird sex like things. You've seen like those movies where they wear the mask and all the guys are like, powerful people get very weird. And so I'll never understand it. I'll never be able to conceptualize a reason why somebody would do that. People are just fucking weird, bro. And so, speaking of weird, you'd have here, so this is the federal agents. So they had found 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil at his Miami residence. And so, is it illegal to have 1,000 bottles of lube? No. Is it extremely concerning and weird? Abso-fucking-lutely. And so there's that. Also, how deep does this go?
Hold on.
What's up?
Wasn't there a baby oil shortage during the pandemic? Was this motherfucker buying all the lube?
Maybe. Maybe. So now, how deep does this go? The same day the news broke or the indictment came out, Kevin Liles quit Warner Music executive role. So CEO of 300 Electra Entertainment resigned. You might know Kevin Liles here. Might recognize his face here, but one of the top music executives. And so I'm very curious, are they going to Epstein Diddy and take him out, right, before all of the connected individuals? I mean, you got Obama, you got a meeting with Oprah, you have
Kamala. He just did a fundraiser for Kamala.
Yeah,
Harris.
he also has had interviews with Hillary Clinton. I'm just saying, the last time Hillary Clinton had a relationship with a sex offender and someone that had a sex ring, well, they died in prison, right? Hillary Clinton, obviously, with the Epstein, had a direct connection because her husband, Bill, was on that damn private island all the damn time. even though he didn't inhale or whatever the hell it was.
He
And so,
did not visit the private island.
So I'm just saying, you know, can somebody please protect Diddy? Because I'm telling you, there is way more to that than is meeting the eye. All right, I want to lighten it up. Is that baby oil?
$25 times 1,000. 25K. It's a lot of baby oil. You know, I had a thought in my mind that just went away.
Okay, well here, let me.
Whoa. 96, Tupac died. Can we safely say now Diddy was behind it? Because maybe Tupac turned him down from the freak-offs?
No, they're actually actively prosecuting the killer for Tupac here in Las Vegas, right?
Someone ordered it, though.
Yeah.
Was it Diddy?
Maybe.
He's like, either give me 1,000 bottles of baby lube, or I'm calling the I'm calling the henchman, and there we go.
All right, so take a look at this. Have you seen this new sport? Check it out.
So much happened. Jack, the guy that fought last, he fought with me, and then I could always fight. You know,
he busted his lip.
Yeah.
There we go.
What the hell is
This
this?
Dragon Con.
Okay.
Are they dressed
From some of the
It's
What is this?
full armor MMA.
some crazy grapples.
Are those hockey sticks? What are those?
They're axes, bro.
Like legit, actual axes?
Yes.
And is the ref also wearing a helmet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what has this world come to?
He fought with me, and then
If this isn't the most badass sport I've ever seen in my life, like if
This
you
is
had
the
to
dumbest
measure,
shit I've ever seen.
a man, you had to say like how
That's a woman.
that's a dude, bro. That's a dude.
That's a dude.
Yeah, that's a dude.
That's a dude.
They're both dudes.
That's a liberal dude.
Whatever. You got to be a strange dude to wear armor and fight in a ring. But anyways, if there's ever a measure of man, like suit up with armor, get an axe, and then go into an octagon.
That is such
it
a
is
good
literally
measure of a man.
the barometer for the highest performing male attributes in possible.
Oh,
I
for
mean,
sure. It's not
I feel like
Olympians.
in between rounds, you know, when they like put the Vaseline on the face, I feel like they're just eating like turkey drumstick legs. Just like,
That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Whose idea was that? Fire them. And who? Where did you find that from? Was that on TV?
I have no idea. In the depths of social media at 3 a.m. in the morning when I can't sleep. So, all right. Federal judge rules transgender Indiana inmate can receive gender affirming surgery.
You know,
I'm not even going to read any of the details of the article. I think the headline itself just kind of explains it.
I personally don't give a shit if you want to cut off your dick. Just A, leave the kids out of it. But B, why are we spending
leaving the kids? Like kids.
Why are we spending taxpayer money to cut someone's dick off? I don't get it.
My thing here is, if you're a dude and you go to a female prison because you
identify
as a like that, I don't know, man. I think that in itself.
Let me ask you a question. We both have daughters. We both have daughters. Let's just say you and your daughter are out. You guys are going to a play, Sky Zone or something like that. And your daughter's like, hey, Dad, I need to go to the bathroom. You're like, okay, sweetheart, it's right there. You watch her go in the bathroom, and in walks a dude behind her. What do?
Beat his ass.
You're going to beat his ass.
Yeah, 100%.
No,
I'm gonna grab him. I'm gonna grab him. I'm gonna grab him and be like, get the fuck out of there. And then if there's any kind of resistance or any of this, Me Too movement or whatever the hell it is, I'm just gonna
Me Too movement.
I'm just gonna have to handle that. No, here's the thing. We talk about prisons and we just kind of dismiss it as like, hey, these are just hardened criminals, whatever. No.
It's supposed to be a consequence and a penalty.
Yeah.
Not a, hey, oh man, I can go to prison and get transgender surgery and not have to pay for it?
What I'm saying is that, like, why the fuck is a male in a female prison? And so these people have rights. They got parents, they got kids, they got family members. They're human beings. Like, maybe they made a mistake, whatever it is. Maybe they're in prison incorrectly. But why are you in a confined space, trapped with a convicted felon that is a male that can essentially assault you? Like, and so let's just say, like, we both have daughters. Let's just say they get drunk one night and drive and end up locked up for a year, right? and do you feel comfortable with another man sharing a cell with them?
No.
A convicted felon? And so that's where for me, it's absolutely gross, bro. And I don't know how the hell we're here.
They're gonna
then taking taxpayer money to allow sex change operations in prison is insane to me. Absolutely insane.
Let me ask you this question: where do you think this all started from? So transgender thing. Do you think it's
What do you mean it started from? It's this weird gay movement that which is fine. I'm not at all.
Do you think it's a mental disorder?
I'm not at all. If you want to be gay, I don't question people's sexual orientation. I really don't care. Like, do your thing. Like, I genuinely don't care. I just feel like that should be kept to yourself. The same way, I'm not going around. I'm not at school talking about like, hey, this sexual position's the best. This is how. Just leave it out of there. Leave all of that out of there. I grew up that your sexual life was something that you kept to yourself. It was personal, right? And now all of this is pasted in front of you. You got these parades out here with people stomping around naked in front of children. I'm just saying, like, I keep that to yourself. Keep it to yourself, man. And I think that's where the problem is, right? Is that everyone is encouraged to openly discuss it. You see it on TV shows and movies. Now, they desensitized sexuality. So because of that, people are coming out because it's so common to talk about your sexual experiences. It's so common that now people are like, oh yeah, I'm gay, and this is what I like to do with gay. And then it expands from there, and it's like, hey, well, you know what? Not only am I gay, but you should also be gay, and we should also respect this, and be able to cut your dick off or whatever it is. Like, so
you're a single man. Do you ever worry about getting in the dating scene and accidentally maybe hooking up with a tranny? It's got to have crossed your mind, right? It crosses my mind, and I'm married. It doesn't cross your mind?
I can see a man. I can look him in
Bro,
the
some
eyes.
of these surgeries are so good.
No.
Okay.
No.
So I bet you I can line up 10 people.
Yes. At first
and
glance.
5 of them would be trannies, and one of them you wouldn't know.
At first glance, I agree. At first glance.
Bro,
but when you sit here,
some of these surgeries,
it's not like
bro.
you go to a nightclub and you wave at somebody, and next thing you know, poof, you're in a bedroom. Like, no. You have conversation. You're in a Uber. You're in a taxi. You're over here having drinks at the bar. You're sitting down at a table. You go to his house. You know what I mean? Like, at some point, you're gonna spend enough time with somebody to find out who they are. And if you have any kind of radar here, if you have
might get
any
a
kind
kiss.
of,
You might get a kiss on the lips,
bro. I'm
just
telling
saying, bro.
Like you cannot hide that. I'm sorry, dude. And if you have sex with a tranny or you hook up with a tranny or whatever, there was signs there and you chose to ignore them. And that's on you.
I'm saying,
and that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying you chose to ignore them. I don't care how good the surgeon is. I don't care how much estrogen they're pumping through their balls. Like, it makes no difference. You cannot hide that. And if you are a man and you have any kind of intellectual capabilities, you can spot that out. I'm telling you.
What if you're drunk at the bar?
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter.
Has this happened to you? Is that why you're so defensive?
It hasn't.
Okay.
All right. Last.
I wouldn't judge you.
Last conspiracy. Okay. Well, last one. So, Trump. Well, first of all, did you see headlines today? Trump hit one of his rallies he was going to. They found a car full of explosives at the rally. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, but now they're saying there weren't explosives. I don't know what to believe.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. That was it. But that's not the talking point here. So we had assassination attempt, got shot in the face, blew off a corner of his ear. You had a gunman outside of his golf course where he didn't announce that he was.
Hey, I heard he was just playing peekaboo.
He didn't even announce. Trump didn't even announce he was playing golf. How did this guy know that Trump was there?
And he was there at 2 a.m.
Yeah. So, anyways, had AK-47 scope on there. Anyways, so did you see the backstory? He went to Ukraine.
Yes, he tried to get. Yeah, that's that.
Okay.
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 I'm going to fill you in on the story here.
Okay. Fill me in.
So the guy, what's his name? Ryan
Routh.
Yeah, Ryan Routh, right? So Ryan Routh, this individual here, he went to Ukraine to fight, right? He
looks like a fighter. For
he
sure.
he was upset. He thought that Russia was, like trying to take over the country.
Wouldn't you be so scared if you saw him coming at you?
But no, here's the thing. So he went there to fight, right? And so he's sitting down with militants and he's talking to them, and the militants got a camera on him, and they're questioning him like, well, why do you want to be here? Why do you want to fight? What's going on? Ukraine turned him away and said, no, you're good, bro. We don't want you to fight here.
That's a little strange.
A little strange, right? First of all the men in Ukraine, all of them.
If you're at war, you take what you can get.
Yeah, exactly. All the men aren't even allowed to leave. If you are a male and you are of Ukrainian citizenship and you reside within the country, you're not allowed to leave if you're over 18 years old.
They were trying to call back some of the citizens that were not in the country.
And so why wouldn't you, even if the dude is completely incapable, just give him a gun and just have him wander out there and then see who shoots at him at least, and then you're gonna find the enemy. And so the fact that they turned him away is very interesting. But you're gonna see where I'm getting at here. Don't you think it's interesting how an individual, instead of fighting in the front lines in Ukraine, has a meeting with Ukrainian soldiers and Ukrainian officials, leaves Ukraine, and then tries to take out Trump, who is trying to shut down the war in Ukraine, shut down funding, shut down arms going to Ukraine, right? Is it not just suspicious? Hey, I'm here to fight for Ukraine. No, we don't want you here. Go back to the U.S. And, you almost assassinated Trump. No connection here. And it just so happens if Trump wins the election, what happens to funding for Ukraine? What happens to weapons for Ukraine? Disappears, right? So if for Ukrainian interests, don't they not want Trump around?
Well, I look at it the other way. I look at he's going to end the war. So which would be good for both sides.
I would hope so, but there's one thing that I know will happen, or at least I have a deep sentiment will happen, is that money going to Ukraine and weapons going to Ukraine will stop. And what happened? Do you think that Russia will just put their hands up and be like, "Oh, you stop funding Ukraine, we're done"? And so, from a Ukrainian perspective, it's got to be very terrifying to have all of your funding and weapons dry up. I'm trying to say that Ukraine sent this man to kill Trump.
You think it's... Hold on. You think the country of Ukraine and their government entities were like, you know what? You could be better used to us trying to kill the former president of the United States than fighting on the front line of our war. That's what you're saying?
You said to yourself, why wouldn't they have him fight on the front line?
But I'm saying that's the conversation they had. Is that what you're alluding to?
100%.
If I'm going conspiracy, I'm going our own government is doing it. Not the Zelensky from Ukraine who likes to salsa dance and...
I mean, I don't know who's responsible for what.
It's very fishy.
So you think it's just coincidence that he went to Ukraine?
But that was years ago, right? That was a couple years ago, right? A year and a half. Yeah, that was right when the war started.
The war hasn't even been.
It's been 2 years.
Exactly. It's only been 2 years, bro. And now we have the president coming in, or we have the election coming up. The time window is shrinking. I'm just saying, dude, it's...
I'm a little more concerned that how did the dude, this wasn't even on Trump's calendar. How did he know 8 hours before to go scope the place out, find a spot, set up behind the fence with really, how many people do you think knew he was going golf on that day there at that time?
I'm not, and you think I'm just off on some weird tangent. So this is per the Politico here. So Ukraine brushes off links alleged to Trump gunmen. And so I'm not just on some weird hill here coming up with some dotted line chalkboard thing here. This is Zelensky said, best wishes to the Republican candidate.
Okay.
And
I'm sure he means it.
Yeah, so The 58-year-old told the New York Times he was willing to fight and die in Ukraine, but was turned away. And so,
I don't know.
Your Ukrainian International Legion came out in a statement, said American citizen Ryan has never served in the International Legion, has no relations to the unit. Don't you think it's interesting that the Ukrainian International Legion is coming out with a public statement on this? I'm just saying that, like, I have come to the conclusion that I don't believe anything, and if somebody has a lot to gain, and especially a government, yeah, I got to take it into consideration, man. And if the Ukraine is sitting there and looking at an American citizen, and they're like, "You want to fight here?" Like, okay, well, first of all, you're kind of weird, but why don't you go back, get together with some of our operatives, which are in the U.S., and see where you can help them out. I don't think that's that far-fetched.
This thing smells funny.
I don't think it's that far-fetched. All right, so I think that's going to wrap up our show today. Thank you so much for coming by, checking us out. We're having a lot of fun with this thing. Did you have fun? Did you like today's episode?
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff. A lot of weirdness.
Well, the world is weird, bro. You're weird. I'm weird.
Yeah.
It is what it is, bro.
It is what it is.
All right. Well, we're going to come back to you on Friday with the next episode. And so please come check us out. And till next time, well, that's it. Farewell. Peace.